see who has a heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your fight. Now go out there and take it.
You never heard of the Salted Squat? The Titan of Terror. Colossus of Clout?
The King of Crash, man.
Oh, yeah, the Great Bambino. I thought you said the Great Bambi. That wimpy deer.
Welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
The world is changing.
The Tailgate Talk app has changed. It's got a new name and a new look. It's now known as PAS Plus, and it's your home for Applebee's Tailgate Talk, along with James Clemens Sports and Calhoun Basketball.
Change, never heard, huh?
Look for the download links at pasnetwork.net or tailgatetalk.net. PAS Plus, Play Action Sports, plus a little extra. PAS Plus from Play Action Sports.
Hey, this is East Limestone baseball coach Adam Brown, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I am 1 Adam 12 Dodson, and we are live from Applebee's in Athens. I am joined in studio by Todd, the Bod Tomerlin, and the producer extraordinaire, Tim Lambert. We have a great show lined up for you today. Unfortunately, Tomcat cannot be with us. He has a thing at a place today, so you're stuck with Walmart Tomcat, also known as me. So we have a great show for you today. Not to start off, but one of our main guests today is UNA women's basketball coach Missy Tiber, who just celebrated her 150th win with the Lady Lions team. We also have West Limestone baseball coach Ryan Griffin, and we have James Clemens and Elkmont track coaches Drew Bell and Matt Black, along with some of their athletes. Of course, it goes without saying we have Clay Freak Daddy Coleman of the Huntsville Havoc, and the Swami of the SEC, AP Steadham, will also be part of the mix. Look for us on look for us on Facebook at Applebee's Tailgate Talk, and on Instagram or Twitter at Tailgate Talk AL. Visit us online at tailgatetalk.net to get scores and archives of past shows. You can also vote for the Athlete of the Week poll and nominations for future polls, as well as... Excuse me, I lost my breath. Find the links to download the PAS Plus app for your Android or iOS devices. Follow the Tailgate Talk podcast on iTunes, Amazon, Pandora, iHeart, Google, and other popular podcast platforms.
It's a lot of notes to go through.
It is a lot of notes to go through. I need to work on my breathing. Hear us on your Alexa device by saying, Alexa, open PAS Plus. Call or text us during the show at 256-812-1025. 1TGT, also known as 256-812-1848. Guys, how we doing today?
I think we're doing all right, buddy.
Great.
Good to be here.
Yeah, good to be here.
Missing y'all.
Yeah,
I started to
been
say,
missing you.
It's been a while.
It's been 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you on. We're happy to see you.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Good. Looking as good as ever.
I don't know about that, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Like I said, we have a great show today, and I was also going to send it over to Tim Lambert, also known as producer extraordinaire, for
scores and more.
All right. Well, we've got basketball teams wrapping up their seasons this weekend. We hope they're not yet wrapping up their seasons, but we do have some. Wasn't a good day for the James Clemens girls yesterday.
No.
Met up with the Hoover girls in the regional semifinals down at Wallace State, and they got they just got beat 50-20. I was looking at the stats, and that 30-point difference was what Hoover got points off of turnovers. James Clemens turnovers. Yeah, they got 30 points off James Clemens turnovers.
Wow, how many turnovers do they have then? Obviously at least 15.
I can't remember. I'll have to go
They
back
could have just
and
been
look
really
at that.
efficient at turning those turnovers into points too.
Well, yeah, that's true, because I don't know that they may have had about double-digit turnovers, because it seemed like I was watching the little stat thing online last night or yesterday, and it looked like every time I turned around it was James Clemens turnover.
Away, huh?
Yeah. And
you can't beat anybody with that many turnovers. Alabama found that out the other night against Tennessee.
Yeah, that game was brutal to watch.
Yes,
Absolutely
it was. Brutal. Absolutely.
Other basketball scores: Calhoun women beat Wallace Selma last night, 78-50, and then the Calhoun men came up short, 68-66. They had another overtime loss a couple of nights. I think it was back on Wednesday night too. Baseball. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just still good to hear Calhoun basketball.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and the support they've had throughout the year, especially with them just being fresh, it's been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It sure has.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Bobby Shuttleworth on in between games and talked to her about her dad coaching there, for so long, and she had some stories for us. I recorded it, and who knows, we may use that as a segment here one day. But, she had stories about, her dad, and then one about Pat Summit,
Yeah,
so.
wow.
So it was really interesting visit with her. Baseball, Scottsboro beat James Clemens in the Jets' opening game yesterday, 5-4. But the freshman Jets swept Hazel Green in their games. So that was at least one James Clemens win yesterday. Back to basketball, though. Today, the Clemens girls are playing midfield, and at last text message here. Jay's down there watching it, and they were ahead. The Lady Colts were ahead 35-17 at halftime.
It's actually 52-29 with 3 minutes to go in the third.
Okay.
I just got an update.
We have some well-placed sources here on Tailgate Talk.
We got them everywhere.
What'd you say?
52-29 with 3 minutes left to go in the third.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he'll probably text us at the end of the third with it. And then, of course, due to the weather situation, we had some changes in the schedule down there. The Elkmont boys will be playing midfield right after the Clemens girls get through, and then the Lauderdale County girls play Carbon Hill, and then the Lauderdale County boys will take on Childersburg after that, and then later on this afternoon, I think it's 4:30, the Tanner boys play Red Bay, and then the East Limestone girls on Monday will play Pleasant Grove at 6, and so that's a different time than what they thought it was going to be. Soccer yesterday, Athens girls beat Elkmont 7-0. The Athens boys lost to Tuscaloosa County 2-1. James Clemens girls lost to Homewood 2-0, and the James Clemens JV boys beat West Morgan 2-1. And then Athens High's Will Anderson advanced to today's state finals in the 132-pound division of the state wrestling meet.
So it's a dynasty. He's a single man dynasty as well.
Yeah, so he's the last local man standing there, and so we'll kind of see what happens with him. Congratulations to James Clemens, Malia Robinson, and Brianna Smith, who signed with Calhoun, and Lurleen B. Wallace volleyball.
Nice.
Earlier this week, and let's see, coming up next month. We'll be live at the VBC with the Huntsville Havoc. So we were going to do that earlier this month and decided to wait. So anyway, so that's what's coming up with us. Scores and more brought to you by P4 Physical Therapy, delivering world-class outpatient care with a purpose. Visit them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. So what y'all think about the Super Bowl?
I think James Bradbury coming out and saying that he held him, this solved a lot of that scripted, the NFL is rigged narrative that automatically came out of it, because Bradbury's like, yeah, I held him and I tried to get away with it and I hope they wouldn't call it. So I thought that did a lot to kind of simmer down a little bit of the vitriol, to say.
Yeah. I mean, was it a penalty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Had it been done numerous times prior to that in the game?
Facts.
Probably.
Yeah.
Was it called? No.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so why do you want to call? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I liked both teams. Obviously, pulling for Philadelphia a little bit more, obviously, because of the local connection.
Right.
Because you never know when you're going to get the opportunity to get back.
Yeah, you always think you have an opportunity.
But yeah, it was a really great game. I mean,
it was awesome.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for more exciting.
I think the thing that gets on most people's nerves is that they're not consistent.
Well, that's
with
the thing.
calls.
It's just be consistent.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the catch earlier in the game.
Devontae Smith.
Thank you. That was a freaking catch.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a catch. You can look at it 100 different ways. It was a catch. Then later in the game, the tight end on the sidelines.
Goddard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was a catch. They ruled it that it was.
Yeah.
Remember when the ball shifted as he was going out of bounds?
See, well, I was kind of out watching it. So
okay, so, I mean, there you go with the consistency. And that was both of those plays were being reviewed by somebody, you know. I mean, they saw something totally different than America saw in most cases.
And you know who almost came up with an awesome catch is Quez.
Oh, my goodness.
If Quez would have come down with that one, other than A.J. Brown's catch, that probably would have been catch of the game.
No, bless his heart, he should have had. But
I mean, he almost came down with a snag.
Like 3 times, 2 or 3. It wasn't many. I don't know if he was just in that great of coverage, or obviously he's not, the number one receiver, so they're not looking at him right out of the gate.
Yeah, but I'd be willing to say he's probably one of the best wide receiver threes in the entire league.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, and I wish he would have come down with that ball. I was jumping out of my couch, honestly, when he was about to snag it. I was like, oh man. Yeah,
but congratulations to him and Reed Post.
Absolutely.
Just for getting there, and Reed's story. I'd love to have him on. Just being undrafted, MTSU, and then practice squad get called up, and then you're starting, and your first interceptions against your boy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't write. That's a book, man. You know.
And one thing I really like about Quez is, he does that football camp every year. And I think that's the most direct way that a football player can impact the community is by giving back to the younger people.
Yeah, coming home. He didn't have to come back here to Athens, Alabama, do squat.
Yeah.
But he does.
He does. Very frequently.
Yeah. So, absolutely.
Oh, so anyway, that's all I got.
Well, Tim,
unless y'all have something.
Well, Tim has allowed me to make an announcement.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has allowed me to make an announcement on this show.
I knew there was something else.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you, producer extraordinaire. So I am now over with WKAC, and under the guidance of my friend here, Tim Lambert, I am starting my own sports radio show. It's going to be Tuesday and Friday, 10 to 11. It's going to be called 256 Sports Radio. And the whole idea of the show is Tuesday is going to be student athletes interviewing other student athletes, and Friday is going to be coaches interviewing other coaches. So, like for my first show, I'm going to have Cody Gross on. At least that's the plan. And I've talked to him. I've talked to him about it, and we're hashing out the details right now. He said sounds great, and I just need to let him know when I get the guests finalized.
Pretty cool format. I like that.
Well, what I really like about it is the Tuesday show is going to feature 3 student-athlete co-hosts who are all aspiring sports journalists.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you're giving them a great opportunity, and,
right.
and you can help them along the way. That's pretty cool, man.
I'm happy about it. So Caroline Roberts, she plays girls soccer and runs cross country for Athens. She'll be one of my co-hosts. She shadowed me at the newspaper and wrote articles with me. Lily Hosmer, the girls soccer player for East Limestone who's going to UNA on a scholarship for soccer. She'll be another one. And then Trey Johnson, the football player for East Limestone.
Nice.
He'll be another one joining me. And they're all aspiring sports journalists.
And even if they're not, just to give them the opportunity to be on air and, someday, depending on how good they are, they're going to have a microphone stuck in front of them. They're going to have to know how radio works and interact and all that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they'll probably ask each other questions that we wouldn't think about because we're not at that age level.
Yeah. Yeah. Trey Johnson, is that DeMontre?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is.
He's a signee too.
Yep. So. And then, Caroline's going to Auburn, not on a sports scholarship, but she's choosing to go just the more sports journalism route when she gets to Auburn.
Okay.
So, it's exciting times. I'm just trying to keep it as local as possible, including the hosts. I'm just going to try to get coaches to host. I've talked to Jonathan Snyder over at Ardmore about potentially being a host. And once again, it'll be called 256 Sports Radio, Tuesday and Friday, 10 to 11 in the morning on WKAC 1080.
And that starts
March 10th.
March 10th.
Friday, March 10th.
And you're going to stretch out a little bit more than what, say, Play Action Sports does. You're getting into neighboring counties too.
Right.
I'm
going to keep it Limestone focused just because, that's where my bread and butter has been the past 17 months working for the paper. But I am also going to be able to promote the sports radio show in the Madison Weekly News. They're going to bring me on as a freelance reporter, and I'm going to be writing for them. I'm still focusing on Limestone as well, where I'll be able to promote the show in articles. They're also going to write an article about me to promote the show as well.
Nice.
So I'm a lot of exciting times, a lot of irons in the fire right now, but this thing's growing legs, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, good. Congratulations, man. We're proud of you, and it sounds like a great opportunity. We know you're going to nail it. So.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that. And I believe that after that, it's time for a break. So we will be right back. We're going to try to get some chicken fingers. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Hear Applebee's Tailgate Talk on your Alexa device by saying, "Alexa, open PAS Plus," and hear it in crystal clear quality. Applebee's Tailgate Talk will be right back. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
First National Bank is a name everyone in the community recognizes. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and in our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Dakota McNair from West Limestone High School, and I love to help represent First National Bank in my community. First National Bank, making communities great.
Located at 1880 Highway 72 East and 321 South Jefferson Street in Athens. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's 2023, and it's the year of the gig. Gig Speed Internet has the power to change lives, starting right where you live. Slay your workouts this year. Stream your sets. Track your runs. Chart your gains. Call WKNT at 877-954-8748 to get your gig life started today. That's 877-954-8748.
Addiction can have a crippling effect on everyone involved, leading to health problems and behavioral disorders. SOAR Addiction Recovery can help with their comprehensive and confidential treatment. SOAR understands the heartache and pain of addiction and can empower you to re-engage in a meaningful life. If you or someone you know needs help, don't wait. Call SOAR Addiction Recovery. That's SOAR at 374-3858. Located at 30521 Ardmore Avenue in Ardmore. It's time for you to soar. Call now, 374-3858. SOAR Addiction Recovery. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action Sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net.
Hey, this is UAH men's basketball coach John Schulman, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
I'm all about that action. I'm all about that action. I'm all about that action. I said I'm all about that action.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Applebee's in Athens, Alabama. I am 1 Adam 12 Dodson, joined in studio with Todd the Bod Tomerlin and producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. And on the First National Bank hotline, making communities great, we got our Swami of the SEC, AP Steadham. AP, how we doing?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So glad to be in Applebee's Tailgate Talk, WKAC 1080 AM, Athens, Alabama.
AP, what cool place are you at today?
Oh, I'm just here for the weekend. I was gone about 8 or 9 days to the Super Bowl in Phoenix.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It always has tremendous access to the players and the coaches, and I got a chance to visit with a lot of people. So, I always enjoy seeing the other media members from across the country, and of course, visiting with the teams in the Super Bowl. So it's fun. It's always fun.
Yeah. Did you get to do any interviews post-game?
No post game, but prior to the entire week. So every day we're at the press conferences at their hotels, and then the opening night was on usually like the basketball venue or hockey venue that it's on the floor, and then there's fans in the stands and loud music and thousands of people trying to do the interviews. You're trying to run around that arena and try to get the person who doesn't have that many people standing in front of them.
Boy, that's work, isn't it, buddy?
Oh, yeah, you have to pick and choose. Yeah, you have about an hour or so.
You know we're living our lives vicariously through you, right? I mean, you're a hero, so. Hey, one thing I wanted to talk to you about was, and I don't know how much you've kept up with it or seen it or whatever, but I don't know, and it's been 3 or 4 years ago, I think, when the original lawsuit was filed by former Villanova football player Trey Johnson. But I guess the court heard his case about he has declared that all student athletes are employees of the school and therefore should get at least minimum wage and beyond.
Right.
Man, between that and NIL, and I don't know if y'all saw what Governor DeSanto did yesterday, or whatever his name, DeSantis in Florida. He went ahead and made it where coaches can actually go ahead and basically set up the NIL deals for the players, because they lost a quarterback. Florida, University of Florida lost a quarterback. I don't remember his name.
Rashada.
Yes. And because of NIL. So now they're basically going to let the coaches be agents, it sounds like. Dude.
Right.
What do you think about all this?
Yeah, take the last one first. That was always done with a wink, wink. In other words,
exactly.
The schools were not supposed to be involved in the NIL deals. They were just supposed to receive the deal and review it, and then sign off and approve the deal. And then they came with this collective business. So that was, they would tell the compliance officer, look, you're no longer the compliance officer. We're hiring you for this private foundation to run the collective. Yeah. Some of the schools did that. But, and that was some of the wink, as I said. But now it's hands-on. So I don't know if that's going to fly. The NCAA might come down on them. But to look at your first situation with the employees, that's the nightmare of the NCAA. To have student athletes viewed as employees and compensation and all that type of thing, where workman's comp and those scenarios that could develop very quickly. Mm-hmm. So I didn't follow this last decision or anything by the court, as you mentioned, but I know that that's been something on the minds of the presidents and athletic directors for so long. They're trying to become employees of the university. That we don't want that. We'll do anything we can to appease them. And so I think that's why you have the NILs and things of that nature to give the money to the student athletes. So that's what I would say about that. But like you said, it's a mess because the NCAA is the governing body, and the NCAA. Let's remember now, the NCAA is the membership. Everybody's pointing fingers at the membership. Well, look in the mirror, Hoss, right?
Yep.
I mean, that you're the membership. So, you have to come up with some regulations and legislation that everyone can agree upon moving forward. But they haven't been able to do it with the NIL, and that's why they're looking to Washington. And everybody knows if you don't take care of your business, Washington will make that attempt.
Yeah.
So
they will.
That's what it's come down to. But you have to have leadership, and you have to have somebody who can galvanize the support for a particular legislation concerning the NIL, and it has been done.
Yep. Well, shifting over to basketball, our Alabama Crimson Tide's #1 standing ranking didn't last too long.
That did not.
Unfortunately, that game was fairly ugly the other night.
Yeah, they shot approximately the same about 36%, but it was the turnovers. Yes. It was 19-8. I think they stole the ball 11 times from Alabama to 3 for Alabama. So it was the turnovers. They had, I think, probably 15, 20 more shots.
They did. I think it was almost 20. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. So those are, Coach Nate Oates, he's an analytics person. Yep. And when you look at those numbers, you know that you only need to win by a point, and Tennessee had a good chance to win, in which they did. And that's always a tough game for Alabama historically. Yeah. They've won it in the last 10 years a few times, but that's always a difficult game because Tennessee usually has a good basketball team, which they do.
And that place was rocking.
They're very good defensively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and what I find interesting and what I think people need to remember is, Alabama, Tennessee, the cream of the crop of the SEC, they're not going to have to play in these hostile environments come SEC tournament and NCAA tournament time. So, Bama, could have easily lost that Auburn game the other night. And then, obviously, I say Alabama lost to Tennessee the other night. They're not going to be in those hostile environments when they're playing their most important basketball.
Right. Alabama, it looks like they'll be in Birmingham for the first 2 rounds.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, it would be unbelievable. So you've got to get by those 2 games. I mean, if that team doesn't, that's a total failure, right? I mean, you're number 1. You're playing at Birmingham. Okay, then the next question is, what is my region? New York, Las Vegas, Louisville, preferably probably, or Kansas City.
Yeah, probably Louisville.
So you're hoping Louisville. Right? So your fans can travel. And that would be nice for Alabama. You would hate to see them travel. Not that you don't love New York or Las Vegas, but you'd hate to see them travel to those locations because their fans are really hungry and starving to follow them.
Yeah, I'm starving. I don't know if I'm starving enough to go to New York.
Right. Cold weather and long distance and
and rats.
There's a lot of the prices are pretty high to stay in New York or in and around New York. Yeah, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and I personally don't want Alabama to fall in this trap where, the Auburn game, Auburn's blaming the refs, and we're like, oh no, you can't blame the refs. And then, there's a lot of Bammers on Twitter from the other day who were absolutely blaming the refs for the loss against Tennessee when, in my opinion, the refs were equally terrible.
It was. I mean,
Go
ahead, AP.
They must have got the refs from the football game.
Oh, maybe. I don't. But the refereeing is part of the game. I don't think that's what lost it for Alabama.
No,
I just don't.
No, it didn't. I mean, it was like Adam said, equally bad on both sides. But I mean, it was just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
They call a little ticky-tack stuff up top, and then somebody get brutalized under the goal, and they wouldn't even call it.
Right.
It's just weird.
Yeah, that's basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very difficult game to referee because of the quickness and the size and the athletic ability, and you have to make those, split-second decisions. I mean, it's so fast.
Yeah, and with the Auburn game, they were consistent in that one too. I mean, Auburn came out and made it very, very clear that they were going to play physical to the point where they're basically mauling Alabama on the floor. And Alabama just kind of said, okay, if we want to play that way, we'll play that way. And I do give credit to the refs for, letting it be very physical the entire game, including up to the end when, Auburn kind of lost their minds on that no foul. And obviously it was very physical, but it was consistent.
Yeah, I think that Alabama, that probably is the strategy to push those guards out and get physical with them and see what the referee will call during the game, see if you can have that style. Because I think that is the way to probably throw Alabama off their game.
Right. And I think the one thing that Alabama has that is very enjoyable is we have a guy like Jaden Bradley. When that game does get physical, he is not afraid to go right to the rim, right at you, and try to get a foul. He's going to miss both free throws, but he's going to get a foul.
Right. He's from Rochester, I believe, right? He's from Rochester.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, New York, right?
New York.
New York, man. They used to go into the goal, because you're playing in the playground. You got to win the game, because if you don't, you sit.
That's right.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
You're trying to get close to the basket to have the best chance to make 2 points. So that's the style in New York, always going to the goal.
Yeah, and that kind of works for that analytical style that you were talking about earlier that Oates loves. It's either a three or under the basket.
Right. Yes, that's right. The 3-point shot, or we're getting to the goal close.
So tell us who's on AP and Kelly this week.
Oh, yeah. This week we had Barry Trammell, who's from the Oklahoman. And Barry is like a Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer character. Oh, cool. He's followed Oklahoma for many, many years. So we discussed Oklahoma entering the SEC in 2024. And they're kind of at a strange point in their football program right now. You're coming off quite a bit of success and Heisman Trophy winners with Lincoln Riley, and then they had such a down year with Brent Venables. So he's got to crank it up again, and you're entering that SEC next year. It's going to be difficult. You better get rocking and rolling on the recruiting circuit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, AP, tell people how they can find your show and listen to it.
Yeah, it's AP and Kelly As We See It, and we're on about 20-plus stations, but we have our Facebook page, which archives every episode, AP and Kelly As We See It, and you can check out my personal Facebook page, because we put up every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday where people can listen to the show on their local station as well. But like I said, you can listen to it at any time on the various platforms, the Apple and Android platforms. Just click on AP and Kelly As We See It, and you can find the link.
Once again, that's any time for AP and Kelly As We See It. And AP, we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us this morning.
Oh, thank you very much. And we're looking forward to the Final Four. We'll be in Houston, and we're hoping we get some SEC team in the Final Four.
Oh, yeah. I certainly hope so. And AP, I would love to talk to you while you're in Houston. Like old Todd the Bod said, we're living vicariously through you.
We'll look forward to it.
Yes, sir. Well, you have a good one.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
And we are going to go to a break, and we are live at Applebee's for Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Going to once again try to get some chicken fingers.
AP Steadham, Heisman Trophy voter, Maxwell Award voter, and Biletnikoff Award voter can be heard weekly on the AP and Kelly As We See It podcast on Anchor and Spotify. He can also be found on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this. We all know how the weather is here in Alabama. On some days, it can go from cold to hot in no time, and you need a system that can keep up. Athens Refrigeration and HVAC is owned and operated by industry experts, servicing all makes and models, whether residential or commercial. 24/7 availability, licensed, bonded, and insured. Don't be left out in the cold or heat. Call Athens Refrigeration and HVAC at 256-871-1571. Alabama certification numbers 22183 and 53483. Athens Refrigeration and HVAC.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to BuddyRents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling? Paint peeling off your walls? Shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured. Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
He's got a push. Backed up three. And he got it! Three-pointer at the buzzer to win it! Unbelievable!
Join Play Action Sports as we bring you coverage of Calhoun basketball this year. The Warhawks are tipping off their first season on the hardwood in over 20 years, and you can hear live action from men's and women's teams streamed on the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus or online at pasnetwork.net. Check out the archives on the Play Action Sports website or on your favorite podcast platform, too. You can also hear select games on Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Calhoun Warhawks basketball is back, and we're here to bring it to you from Play Action Sports.
Hey, this is James Clemens boys basketball coach Frankie Sullivan, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Applebee's in Athens, Alabama, live in studio. I am 1 Adam 12 Dodson, the host of today's show, along with Todd the Bod Tomerlin and producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. And in studio today at Applebee's is the West Limestone baseball coach Ryan Griffin. How are we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you joining us. So just talk to us a little bit about your group this year. What you got going on?
Well, we got a group that's played for several years for us. I've seen these guys play since they were in T-ball. When I was in college, I had done some umpiring, and these guys were in T-ball. They've been playing together pretty much their whole lives.
Yeah.
And I guess 8 of the 9 started last year.
Oh, wow.
So we're returning all of those guys.
Good.
And then another pitcher that pitched a lot last year. So returning just about the whole team. So, we're looking forward to the year. I think we got a good chance to do something great.
Is everybody pretty much going to play the same positions they've been playing? Are you going to move anybody around, you think?
Pretty much will be the same positions. Like I said, they've got a lot of experience in those spots. Pitching wise, we lost one, kind of our main bullpen guy last year. But our starters are back. We've got a couple guys that are utility that'll play multiple spots, but for the most part, they'll be kind of in the same spots they were last year. So that's a good thing.
So I have one quick question for you. So
right.
You said that you were an umpire.
Yes, sir.
So does that give you a little bit of empathy or sympathy with other umpires? Do you not get on them as much, maybe?
I try not to get on them as much.
Try.
There's been I definitely have had a time or two where maybe I have, but no, I try to give the umpires the benefit of the doubt because they're doing what they can, and we can't play the game without them. So
right, and it's my understanding is there a shortage of umpires right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I talked to my buddy at Lauderdale County. I think they went up this year, which nobody's wanting to do it. So it's one of those deals. Got to do what you got to do to try to get guys to come out.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know if I don't blame anyone for not wanting an umpire.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't want to do it.
Well, so right out of high school, 1984, before y'all were born. Wow. Anyway, I went into umpiring. So I'm umpiring against some of the guys I'd played against, right?
Yeah.
And I loved calling high school baseball, right? Because at that level, everybody pretty much knows, what to do when the ball's hit and where to throw it. You know what I mean? So you're already looking, if the double play is going to be turned or whatever the situation might be, right? And back then, we didn't have a shortage of umpires.
Right.
And for the most part, I really enjoyed calling at that level. Now, and I'm just wondering, and I've asked a couple of guys that continue to umpire through all these years, if it's the summer league stuff that gets them. Because
it could be.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, moms in general, parents in general, but moms specifically can be brutal.
Hey, I'm telling you, baseball dads can be right up there with you.
I'm saying, but I'm like, I ain't getting paid enough for this, and it just and you were calling every day, practically, other than maybe Wednesday and a Sunday, and multiple games, especially on Saturday. You might have 4 games, and it just wears them out. And I don't know what the answer is to recruit some of these younger people, because it's not just a shortage. The ones that are calling aren't young people hardly anymore.
Right.
They're
that
up
is
in
true.
age,
That is true.
And the state's going to have to do something. to give them incentives or something to get these younger people out here to call. I don't know.
And how do you has that affected y'all at all? Like last season, for example, have y'all still had the same amount of umpires for most games?
Yeah, I mean our county association, I mean they have enough. It does affect when you're trying to make up games.
Yeah,
you know, we have trouble. Like, you know, we got to at least give them 24 hours notice or more, really. But there's been times like with middle school, like we have middle school, JV, and varsity. So if we want to try to get a middle school game, most of the time they're going to want to call the varsity games because they make more. Right. But trying to make up games, it definitely affected us with that.
I'm sure.
So you said you're returning 8 of 9 starters, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
where's the new starter? What position?
The new starter. Well, the guy that
quote
played,
unquote new.
Yeah, the guy that played shortstop a lot. He was a senior. We've got a guy that'll go there, and then second base. That's one of those spots we'll kind of move. We're going to kind of move a guy that played third a lot to short.
Different.
And that one spot will be second base, and we got really 2 guys, 2 juniors, just kind of battling it out for that. But yeah, and like I said, I'm one of those. I mean, I'll put guys anywhere if somebody's pitching, and I think we may be better having a guy that maybe doesn't look like a second baseman. We put him, we'll put him anywhere. So
as long as I can get it done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
100%.
So, what do you think y'all strengths are going to be going into the season? Are you hitting, defense, pitching?
I think pitching. I think pitching. Obviously, everybody knows Colin Patterson. He's pitched for us since he was in 8th grade. So he's a senior this year. Last year, him and Cooper Phillips both when we started the year were hurt, so we didn't have them at the beginning of the year. I think pitching, like I said, I think we've got a lot of guys that pitch that I think, when we were talking about the bullpen, I think we've got, 3 guys that could fill that role,
nice.
To come in. But our lineup's solid. I mean, like I said, pretty much all 9, guys, I mean, they were in the lineup last year, so, I don't feel, any spot in the order that we have a, major weak link, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, and, you mentioned Colin and Cooper, and they're both bound for college, aren't
they?
Yes, sir. Who else on your team is bound for college as of right now?
As of right now, just those 2 guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we've got some other guys that are, have the hopes to play, and I think could play. A lot of times, with us being 4A, sometimes we get overlooked, but, we're hoping that, maybe, with us, if we can have a good season, some of those guys can get seen this, this season. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the talent is there. It's just a matter of, just getting a little bit more recognition, maybe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hear you. And, I know Colin's going to UAB. Where's Cooper going again?
Cooper's going to Calhoun.
Calhoun, okay. Well, hey, they've been around a long time and doing some good stuff.
Definitely, yep. Cooper's a good one. I think he'll do real well there for him.
So how many games and game dates do y'all have this year?
We get 28 is what we get scheduled, and then spring break you can pretty much do what you want. So pretty much that's what we've got. We schedule a few extra because we usually get rainouts.
Makes sense.
But we start up on Monday, especially early in the year. Like last year, the first week we had 4 or 5 games canceled. In the first week. So we're hoping to avoid that this year.
What are the spring break plans?
Spring break we go. We don't really go anywhere. We schedule a bunch of games that week. I think we play Elkmont that week, Colbert Heights. That week, that's the week before we start area, so that's the that'll be a big week for us. Last year, really that was kind of we won at one point 10 games in a row last year, but then we kind of flipped it and we ended up losing like 9. So and it kind of started on spring break, so we got kind of a bad taste there. Yeah. So hoping to avoid that this season.
Yeah, we were talking off air about starting a season as early as y'all do, and
it's wild
how most of us, I'm sure the kids and coaches as well, don't like it, and y'all had voted on maybe moving it back, and unfortunately it didn't work out. But I mean, just getting the practice in, right? I mean, throwing in the gym or hitting in the batting cage, it's great. It's just not the same as being on the grass,
for sure.
And you don't want to get out there and get kids hurt, right? When they're throwing, I don't care how good you stretch, it's cold, and it's just, man, I wish they would move it back.
I do too. Like we were talking off air, when I sat the bench for Bob Jones when I was in high school, it was cold, man. It was cold. We go to Grissom and we play a doubleheader, and it's going to extra innings because the pitchers are in a duel, and you're just cold, man.
Now, y'all don't play a lot of doubleheaders, do you?
No, sir. No, sir.
And we never have in this county. And
that's interesting.
And I just have never understood, I think it would be cool to play 2 6-inning games.
Yeah.
Knock it down to 6. You got 2 games in. I mean, I don't know. It just
we'll
because of the weather. You
right.
know what I mean, and the rainouts and all.
Yeah, we'll usually the only day of the week we'll play a doubleheader will be on Saturday. We'll have a 3-way with 3 teams, and we'll do a doubleheader.
Which is cool.
But we do varsity JV. And a lot of times, especially with us, schools that aren't Bob Jones, James Clemens, big 7A schools. We don't really have the pitching a lot of times to pitch that many games in a week. Which we still, we play a lot of games. Like next week, we'll play 7 games if they all, if they don't get rained out. So it'll be tough just doing that, So I guess that's part of the reason that we don't do it.
Well, speaking of the weather, y'all got that facility out there.
Yes, sir.
Which is a blessing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about as you were mentioning that.
And that's what I was mentioning.
Yeah, my first couple years at West, we couldn't, I'll be honest with you, my first year as a coach, I was all excited about being a coach, and we started out 0-8, and I didn't really think about it at the time, but, we had really practice-wise, we couldn't even get on, we couldn't get out there. We didn't have a facility, and, I'd come from East Limestone where we had a facility, and so I wasn't used to that, and, by the end of the year we were rolling, but the first, month we were just just getting in shape. So when we got that,
between that and then having the basketball players still playing basketball, and
that year they went to the
short.
state.
Yeah, exactly. That was the year they went all the way.
It was.
So that was shorthanded as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that makes it tough, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only deal with what you got and go with it. All we can do is hope for sunny, warmer days.
But the facility, that's been a huge benefit for us. Like right now, last week, we had the weather, the rain, the severe weather. We were in the facility pretty much the whole time.
A lot of schools don't have it, and they're just tough. You got to hope you can hit a little bit in the gym and the top level if you have enough room.
And it's tough going in the gym for sure.
It's just not. It's not the same.
So, are y'all a 4-team area, 5-team area, 3-team area?
Actually, a 3-team area.
Okay.
They did mix us around a little bit. We still got Brooks in the area. They'll be really good. And then we've got Rogers this year.
Okay.
And we don't know a ton about them. We played them 2 years ago. So I have to definitely do a little scouting on them. But it's a 3-team area this year.
I just find
they fire the cannon every time they have a home run.
Oh,
oh wow!
No, I'm just saying that they used to do that in their football games. Every time they scored. I thought, man,
I think it's interesting. Some teams are in 5-team areas, and then some are in 3.
Yeah, how they come up with that, I have no idea. I really don't.
Yeah, it's someone behind the scenes somewhere just running the numbers, drawing the lines, and doing a little something.
I liked it much better when we were in school because you could create rivalries, in the area, not just in the county, but the area. Of course, 100%. Back then, we're talking off area, it was just 1 through 4A, so it was different, and everybody's school in this county was 2A other than Bible school. They were 1A, and they were probably the best baseball team year in, year out.
They 100% were. But even I know that. I wasn't born.
But it's weird, like Adam said, with you got 5 teams, 4, 3, and I don't know. And then some of those area teams might be an hour and a half away.
I guess y'all don't have it too bad with Rogers and Brooks, so y'all don't have to go too far.
Right. Yeah, you were talking about the rivalries. That's what's been fun. Brooks has been in there every year with us, so we kind of have a rivalry with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's tough. To me, I kind of wish we had 4 teams because we won't play an area game till April. So for the first month and a half of the season, obviously every game's huge, and you're trying to win every game, but you're really looking forward to the area games, and it's a long time before we play one.
And that's what I was wondering because I figured baseball was like the other sports. It would be a while before you got into the area schedule, so that you're waiting on those players to join you. It's not really affecting your area record and what that affects.
Yeah, I think that's why they ended up going against the moving the season back. They were wanting to do regions this year, and I think that actually passed at one point.
Oh yeah,
the vote it passed, but that was going to cause us to start region play right there at the 1st of March. Well, especially if our basketball team goes deep, you won't even have any of those guys. And 3, 4, 5 of our better players play basketball. So
and that would mess up right out of the gate. That wouldn't be good. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, Coach, when's your first home game? What time is it, and how can people get tickets?
First home game will be Friday. Will be Friday against East Limestone. Will be our first home game. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one.
At home?
At home,
okay.
yeah. We start out with Lindsay Lane Monday.
Okay,
and that'll awesome. That'll be a good one because we played them last year twice. They beat us both times, so I know we're looking forward to playing that one. And then, but yeah, we got 3 road games, and then our first home will be at West against East.
Okay,
at 4:30. Yes, sir.
Coach, I wish we could talk all day. I've really enjoyed it.
Well, yeah, thank y'all so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got to take a break. And this is Coach Ryan Griffin of West Limestone Baseball. West Limestone, get out and support your baseball team this year. And we got to take a break. This is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I'm going to try to get some cheese sticks this time.
Congratulations to East Limestone's Shauna Fletcher, our Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week and winner of a gift card from the Athens Applebee's. Go to tailgatetalk.net and enter your nominations for future polls. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this.
First National Bank is a name everyone in the community recognizes. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and in our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Hayden Blakely from Athens Bible School, and I love to help represent First National Bank in my community. First National Bank, making communities great.
Located at 1880 Highway 72 East and 321 South Jefferson Street in Athens. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Hi, this is Gene Jelks. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show.
So you're a control freak?
It's just a freak show anyway.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Applebee's here in Athens, Alabama. And joining us on the First National Bank Hotline, making communities great, we have Clay Freak Daddy Coleman of the Huntsville Havoc. Clay, how we doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Great. I appreciate you joining us this morning.
I'm glad to be on with you. Beautiful Saturday morning.
It is, man. And I want you to know that everybody here at Applebee's Tailgate Talk's been praying for you and your family, man. And
absolutely.
The loss of your mother. And
thank you very much.
You know, you're one of those people that, whether you want to admit it or not, you're so well known. So, people feel like they know you, even though they don't. You know what I mean?
Right. I understand.
You're a celebrity, dude. So you really are. But so I'm sure that you've got many, many people that you've never even met praying for y'all. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's been she had. I kind of looked at it. My mom and dad moved down to Kentucky, from Kentucky to here in 2009. And lived with us since then, so 14 years. And they were, not all of it was having to take care of them 100%, but, my dad passed away 6 years ago after about a 2-year battle with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so, it's been a long, hard road, but I think that I feel good that I was able to to carry them on in the last years of their lives. And, and tons of people have said, hey, that's amazing what you did, and my challenge to a lot of people that I've talked to and everybody I've said is that, it's almost like that is weird to people, where really that should be the normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I've just kind of told people, it's like, thank you for saying that. But, if you feel that, there's nothing special about me or my family. I mean, we definitely didn't have the funds to do it. The money wasn't necessarily there, but, it was just what you should do.
Is what we should do.
You're right. So
and it used to be that way.
Everybody. Yeah, absolutely. No, and that's the one thing that I've just kind of pulled from all this is, that I do feel just a little bit of, sadly, I don't want to say it sounds horrible when you say it like this, but there is some relief on my side,
No, absolutely.
Because, I mean, for 14 years, I've not been able to up and go like I wanted to, or anytime there'd be, well, hey, do you want to go to Nashville or do you want to go to, Atlanta or Birmingham? It'd be like, well, let me see if I can make sure my mom or dad's okay or whatever. Well, now I don't really have to do that, which it's like I said, there's a little bit of relief, but there's also a little bit of, I don't know how to live right now. I'm trying to.
You don't know what to do with your time.
Yeah. And, and since November, I've been taking care of my mom, and she'd had a really bad fall and a stroke, and and I can honestly say I didn't probably have one good solid night's sleep since November. And most people were telling me, they're like, so you did all you did and you had that? And I'm like, guys, when your priorities are in line, you'll find a lot of time. So it wasn't but like I said, I'm just glad, and I appreciate all the prayers, and I was blessed to have probably the most amazing childhood and amazing parents. They were married for 61 years, and I've seen about as close to Beaver Cleaver world as you possibly can.
So that's why you are the way you are.
I'm just hoping, I mean, every good quality, I would say every good quality comes from my mom, and if there is a bad quality, it came from my dad. But all the good, I mean, I pretty much have just been molded into what they were. So yeah, I was blessed to some amazing people. So like I said, I'm sad, and there'll be a hole in my heart that probably will never be 100% filled. But there's also a warmness that I know that I've had a good one, and I got plenty more years with my boys that I got to slap into them what they did to me, and get them, to be where they need to be. So,
yeah. And there'll be times whenever you think, I need to check on mom, or I need to whatever. Even, I mean, years down the road, because I still drive by my parents' house, and I'll look over there and just to kind of see what's going on, and then I'm like, wait a minute, they don't. My niece and nephew live there now, but and then there for a while, we got to where we had to put we couldn't handle my dad as far as the medical part of his care went, so he was in the nursing home for a little while, and I would think, I need to run by the nursing home, but then I thought, wait, he's not there anymore. So
Well, I know we're supposed to be talking about sports, but I'll tell you two things. One, and I know this will be a shameless plug, they're not an advertiser on Applebee's Tailgate Talk, but my company that I work for, Simple Helix, was so accommodating to let me work from home and not worry about anything that I had, which was such a blessing, that they were allowed. So I have to give them complete credit for being a stand-up company to allow me to do that. And then the other thing was, and you guys will get this because we're about the same age, been going through cleaning up the all my mom's stuff and kind of going through her room and drawers, and finding stuff. It's almost like a time capsule, that I'm kind of opening up stuff. Well, I found this cassette tape, and it said Radio Shack on it. And I was like, I never think Radio Shack ever made like cassette tapes. And my mom had a cassette player, and I plugged it in. And I don't know if y'all remember, but the early answering machine messages or machines. So like when it would be set to the third or fourth ring or whatever, and whether you answered it or not, it would start at that fourth ring, and it would start recording. And then if you answered the phone, it would just keep recording, right?
Yeah.
So I put this tape in, and I bawled like a baby, but it had conversations of my father with my grandmother, my mom, my dad, me and my dad, my brother, it literally felt like I was in a room with all of my people just surrounded by them. That was probably the coolest moment I've had this week.
That is gold.
But it's unreal. It was clear and as crisp as you could possibly get. So that was one that kind of God let me know that they're still here, and I got just a kick butt group of guardian angels now that are on my side. So, but anyway, let's talk Havoc.
Let's talk some Havoc.
Well,
really, there's not a lot to talk about. They were off most of the week or all week, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, y'all are family to me, and like I said, I want you to know that I do feel the prayers. And you're right, Todd. There's been so many people that have reached out, and even little stories of people that had met my mom in the Publix grocery store that or at Rosie's restaurant or something that posted on my Facebook that said, "You don't know me, but I knew your mom," and she was, so it's been amazing. But
great.
But 2 games of hockey this week. One that will be 2 games that are actually unique times. We got the matinee game tomorrow against Fayetteville, and it'll be the baby races. So the cruel Huntsville Havoc people will put little bitty cute babies on the cold hard ice and let them race.
Put a little jalapeno in their diaper and let them roll.
Right. So we'll do that, and then a special President's Day game on Monday with a 1:00 start. So just so people know, the season ticket holder doors open an hour and a half before the game time. So we've got the 5:00 game tomorrow, so 3:30, and then the 1:00 game, which will be 11:30 for everybody to get in and have a good day and enjoy 2 games of hockey that are kind of a weird time, but still important games. Knoxville and Fayetteville as we're coming down the stretch.
Sure are.
Yes, we are coming down the home stretch for the Huntsville Havoc. And Clay, I know we didn't get to talk much about the Havoc today, but we took the time to talk about stuff that was a lot more important.
That's right.
And so we really appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Good luck against Tennessee today, too, brother.
Yeah, I hope the basketball team can kind of pull it together. It seems like Tennessee's on a little bit of a slide, so that could be either good or bad. Either the slide continues or we're their rebound. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's basketball this year is very interesting. I mean, it's
love it.
The one time it's almost like Alabama, they should just not want to be first place because they just become the
target.
Become the target. You don't want that right now.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's should be good. But thank you guys, like I said, and it's a blessing to be a part of y'all's show and part of y'all's family.
I appreciate you.
You as well. Continue prayers, buddy.
Thank you very much.
And that was Clay Coleman on the First National Bank Hotline, making communities great. And we're going to take a quick break here on Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
It's 2023, and it's the year of the gig. Gig Speed Internet has the power to change lives, starting right where you live. Slay your workouts this year. Stream your sets, track your runs, chart your gains. Call WKNT at 877-954-8748 to get your gig life started today. That's 877-954-8748.
Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is East Limestone girls basketball coach Jessica Thompson, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Athens, Alabama at the Applebee's. And joining us today for the special guest segment sponsored by Yellow Hammer Roofing, we have the UNA women's basketball coach, Missy Tiber, who just celebrated her 150th win for the Lady Lions recently. Coach, how you doing?
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Great. So first off, congratulations on 150 wins for the Lady Lions program.
I appreciate it. It's, it's one of those milestones that you may be the head coach, but there's a lot of factors and pieces of the puzzle that go into that. And, it's your student athletes and it's your assistant coaches. And, I've just been extremely fortunate in my, 22 years as a head coach to have had the opportunity to coach so many great young women and to have great staffs, and they're a big part of all that.
Well, so tell us, 13-2 run in the last 3 minutes. That is incredible. How exciting was the comeback? I mean, it was great to get the 150th, obviously, but just to come back and win that game, being down like that.
It was one of those where we started the game pretty well, and then through the middle, we just kind of hit a lull and we couldn't score, and then finally we just woke up, and that's what it was. We woke up and we started playing how we were capable, and kind of got a fire lit under our rear ends and did a lot of stuff, and those last 4 minutes or so were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and do you kind of change your coaching style a little bit? Maybe when you feel that your group has a lot of momentum on their side, do you maybe play a little bit more aggressively and coach a little bit more aggressively?
I think so at times. Our system is kind of conducive to spurts because we shoot the three and we shoot it through, pretty well. So you can go on those runs real quick. Or even if you're down, down 6 points or something, we can make that up so quickly because of the way we do play, and we try to force tempo, and we try to, obviously get layups and threes in transition. So you can put those runs on them, and you kind of can change the momentum of the game, pretty quickly.
Yeah, and you mentioned threes in transition. I know a lot of coaches don't like the threes in transition. What makes you a big fan of it? I know you said layups and threes in transition. Just talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, the foundation of the way we play is, it's a point guard-oriented system, and it's tempo. We're one of the best three-point shooting teams in our conference, and we shoot it at a pretty high percentage. So it's something we work on daily. But our number one goal in transition is to get a layup, and if we can't, so what that does is it pulls everybody to the rim, and then when you pull everybody to the basket, you're going to have your kids that trail in transition that are wide open.
Yeah.
And I'll take a wide open three with the girls I have on this team right now any day.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure the analytics would prove you right.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, how the game's changed so much over the years. How, back when I played and probably even when you played, if you were driving to the basket and you had a layup right there at the rim, if you'd have thrown that ball out for an 18-footer, you'd have got pulled from the game. And now that's the way the game's played, obviously because the three-pointers, brought along through the years and men and women both can, like you said, can shoot it. And obviously you're recruiting those girls to be able to do that.
The three-point shot has changed the game so much. I remember my first year of high school, we didn't have it.
Well, you didn't either. I never played.
Back in the 80s, so then they finally, put it in about 86, 87. And, and it's just completely changed the game. There's a lot of great shooters now, and, because we put so much time and effort to work, and it is such a big part of the game. Rarely are you seeing teams start two bigs and two, a center, two forwards, and two guards. It's more like four guards and a forward.
Yeah.
that's how the game is transitioned to. And the simple fact of the matter is, like, the best team in our league is Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, what, 25-3 or something like that?
They start all guards. You know, they're
really?
a guard, and that's all they do. They lead the nation in threes. So if you are not preparing to beat them, then, you know, you're not doing things the right way. And, you know, and it's just kind of how we play. And
I just wanted to ask this. So, you know, and you just brought up a great point. You do not see post play anymore, all that. You know, the lineups are smaller. What's going to happen, because everything turns back, right, at some point at a time, when a team comes out with, you know, a 6'8" post player,
like
a couple of 6'5" forwards. Yes, they won't be able to get up and down the court probably as much, but at the same time, you know, a team that's smaller may not even get a I mean, do you see that ever coming back, ever?
You know, it was just like we played Liberty the other day. Some coaches still have that philosophy, and it was a possession game with 2 minutes to go, and, you know, they have 6'5" and 6'6" and 6'4", and they have those things. So you've got two things. Yes, you can run them up and down the court, but also, just like it is to their advantage to take those girls near the basket, on our side, they have to guard our girls on the perimeter.
Yeah,
and,
do it.
you know, asking girls to move around and chase you around the perimeter, it's pretty hard to do. But, you know, like I said, Kerry Green at Liberty, he still believes in that. And that, you know, that's just his system and the way. And, you know, we're getting ready to go to Bellarmine, and they got a big 6'6" freshman that's very good. And, you know, so they have that. But, okay, she's also going to have to guard our 5'10" forward, you know, and we got to make her get up and down the court. And, you know, they press, and it's not because they're good at it necessarily. They press so they give her time to get down the court.
Wow.
You know, and that's, you know, just what it is. But, you know, I think coaches are going to continue to do, you know, Liberty's coach is kind of an old school guy, you know, so he still believes in that old school basketball, and I don't think that will change until he retires there.
Wow. That's it.
And you got some of these bigs that can shoot the three, too.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look across the board, men's and women's basketball, there's plenty of – and, you know, that's probably half the problem. You know, it's because nobody wants to be a big anymore. You know, everybody wants to shoot the three.
Yeah.
There's not too many players that want to stay close to the basket.
That's very
true. It's not the sexy thing to do right now.
It's not. I mean, you got players in the NBA.
Yeah, it's to make the three and to hold up your three fingers. You know, it's you know.
Oh, it's more important than a dunk. I mean, it really is. I mean, in the game now.
And you know, it's hard to find, and especially for, you know, schools our size and our level, to find the bigs that, you know, literally, I always said, like, I believe if you're 6'3" or 6'4" and you can walk and chew gum, you're going to get on a Division I team.
Yeah.
It's what it is. But, you know, for us to be able to get, you know, a 6'3" or 6'4" kid, they're probably going to be a project. You know, they're going to be a project, and we're going to have to work on, you know, developing him. And not that we can't. You know, a couple years ago we had Brittany Panetti here, and you guys probably remember that name. And,
yes.
And she was 6'2", and, you know, she embraced, you know, but, you know, she also had Ivy Wallen just driving in there and giving her the ball every time for a layup.
Yeah, that helped.
You know, it made Brittany and me look really good when you have somebody like Ivy doing that. So, and you guys know who Ivy Wallen is.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Coach, you know, you've been around the game for a while, and I'm just curious who you look up to in the profession. Who are some women's basketball coaches that you try to emulate your philosophy around?
You know, I've always been and will always be in our game till this day. Still misses her. Is, you know, I'm a Pat Summitt fan.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
I just, you know, it's funny you asked me that today because I watched a video yesterday and it gave me the goosebumps. It was about her coaching her son. Her son wanted him to coach his like 7th grade middle school team back when, and she did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, you know, she's like, Tyler, are you sure you want me to coach them? And, you know, she's coaching them hard. She's out there coaching them just like she coached her, you know, her Lady Vols. And, you know, our game misses her passion and just the way she could mentor women, she could get on them so hard, but they know how much she loved and cared about them.
Yeah, they loved her and she loved them. Absolutely.
You know, and you know, I think that style of coaching sometimes right now is harder and harder to do because of the portal. You know, kids don't, you know, even if you get on to them hard, you know, they have a hard time understanding the tough love right now.
Yeah. You're right.
But you know, I even with her, I always wonder. I always think, how would she handle all this right now? Like, you know, what would her influence and her impact be, and how would she lead, you know, the coaching profession through this time? And you know, it is a trying time. You know, for us right now.
That's a great point. It really is, because kids have changed so much, like you said. And
But you know, she always had the words of wisdom and the great advice. And you know, I worked basketball camps for her, me and my assistant coach Adrian Harlow, and you know, she always treated you like. And at that time, we were just little, you know, D2 young coaches at the time, and she would mentor you while you were working her camp. You know, but that was part of who she was. It was more than Pat Summitt and coaching Tennessee basketball. It was to move the game of women's basketball forward. And you just look at games now. You just look at Indiana women's basketball the other night, the crowd they had.
Yeah.
Look at last week, the crowd that was watching South Carolina and LSU women.
I was watching. I was sure watching.
I mean, look, just how far the game has come. And if you don't have pioneers like Pat Summitt, then our game is not where it is today if it weren't for her.
And to think about it, there was several years when she was there at Tennessee that their crowd, their games drew over the men's easily.
Oh, for a UConn game? For Tennessee
or
UConn?
Any game. I mean, they could have been playing Alabama, and there would have been more for Alabama Tennessee ladies game than there would have been for the men's. That's the way it was.
Yeah, I was there. I was there the night that Pat broke the record for the most wins in the career, 800 and some. I was at Thompson Bowling that night, and it was so packed. There wasn't a seat in the house.
That was amazing.
And, you know,
and it's what, 20,000 right at 18.5, something like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy to feel like it seems like it was just yesterday, and it's crazy to know that she's been gone from our game so long, but how much that people still miss her and the impact that she had. You know, I think that, you know, that speaks volumes for the, you know, the person that she was. Well, and it's kind of neat to look over there now and see, you know, Kelly Harper coaching it, and she was one of her disciples, and you know, it's neat to see.
Well, what I find, what I never really realized growing up, just, you know, as a kid, and what I realize now when Tennessee and UConn played earlier this year, how intense that rivalry was back in the day. I mean, good gracious.
It's brutal.
You know, it got so brutal that they quit playing it because it was just, you know, it was just so much, you know, from both sides and fans and everybody. But I do think I think it's good by adding it back. I think, you know, that's something that needed to be done. I think the great programs should be playing each other, and you know, and not even if, you know, especially like for UConn, you know, they need to play the great teams because they're not facing that in their conference every night. Like they're not getting a game you know, LSU and South Carolina. They're not getting that in their conference.
Right.
So they need to step outside and be able to do those things.
And you know what? I've always respected the ladies' games because they're not afraid to do that. I mean, y'all will go and play. Y'all don't care. Y'all will go play you would go play the number one team at their place right now if you had the opportunity. Where a lot of times the men's coach is like, I'm not sure I want to do that. You know, I mean, every now and then you'll see it, but the women's game, you know, Stanford, UConn, you know, obviously Tennessee, and you know, just on and on, Texas. Back in the day, Old Dominion, oh my gosh, they were so freaking good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were always playing each other.
Yep. When Wendy was back there coaching, she had that program on another map too with ODU.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom. How are y'all doing this year? Kind of.
You know,
changes.
we've kind of been. You know, with our team, we've been on a little bit of a roller coaster this year, some ups and downs. You know, I'll tell you what, we probably at the beginning of the year, we might have had our expectations a little bit too high. And it's not because of necessarily our team in general, but not realizing how loaded some of these other teams were in our league right now.
And y'all have a big conference too.
there's teams in our league that loaded with a bunch of D1 transfers. And, my philosophy has always been, and we're going to have to add some transfers here in the off season. But my philosophy has always been to try to build with 4-year kids.
Yeah.
And right now we're 4-year kids and we're young. And we've had so many close games this year, and a couple we pulled out, but many we did not. Yeah. And that's part of learning and growing. And failure doesn't have to be fatal. It is to get you better, and that's where we're at. But we have a great opportunity these last 5 games to trend in the right direction and to really jockey for some solid position going into the conference tournament.
Well, you're 8-5 at home, but 2-9 on the road, so obviously struggling a little bit, and that's where that youth obviously comes into play, big time. Now, y'all's conference is huge. How do y'all do the tournament? Do you have to qualify, or does everybody get a play?
No, the top 10 teams go into the tournament. Yep. 7 and 8 play, and 9 and 10 play each other, and those 2 games will be at the number 1 seed. They be at the number 1 seed, and then the next day, all the remaining teams play.
Okay, so no one gets a double bye. It's only 1 bye.
Yeah, 1 bye.
Okay, gotcha. Because I know the way the SEC does it. They get the double bye, and I've always thought that was interesting. But so how many teams are in the conference? I know you said the top 10 make it.
Yeah, 14.
14. Okay, so all right. So yeah, it sounds like you said, you have a really good opportunity to establish some late season momentum. Peaking at the right time is always important.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, 6 of our losses were to the top 3 teams in the league. We had the hard part of the schedule at the beginning, and whereas some teams are getting ready to face that, we've already been through it. So hopefully we can pull some things together and try to get as healthy as we can and be able to go out and do some things here in these last 2 weeks of the season.
Okay, and when's your next home game?
Next home game Thursday. That'll be our last 2 home games. We played home Thursday, and then we played home Saturday.
What time?
Saturdays we played home at 6, and Saturday we played home at 5.
Okay, and how can people get tickets?
They can get tickets a game day at the gate. That's easy to do.
Okay.
They can also just get on our website, roarlions.com, and there's all kind of ticket information there. And then if anybody's listening to this show, you just follow me on my social media accounts, and I always give away some nice courtside, lower-level tickets every game.
Cool.
Follow me on social media, and always put a post up, and I'll be happy to get a new women's basketball fan, and especially a UNA fan.
That's great.
Y'all, you just came back from Kentucky, and I think we were talking off the air. You got to make a trip back up there. Here, today, tomorrow, and then out to Arkansas. So you got some miles to put in before you come back home, though.
We do, and we're going to be playing, by this time next week, we'll played 5 games. So
wow.
We played,
Wow,
so
busy. Going to be busy.
We've got a lot.
Well, we'll be rooting for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach.
Hey.
I really appreciate you taking the time. And once again, congratulations on 150 wins. That is a huge milestone, and we are all very proud of you.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Once again, that was the head coach of the UNA women's basketball team, Coach Missy Tiber. And now we are about to go to break, and we'll be right back. This is Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Missed part of this week's Tailgate Talk? Go online to tailgatetalk.net and hear the archives. Call or text us with your comments during the show at 256-812-1848. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
We We all know how the weather is here in Alabama. On some days, it can go from cold to hot in no time, and you need a system that can keep up. Athens Refrigeration and HVAC is owned and operated by industry experts, servicing all makes and models, whether residential or commercial. 24/7 availability, licensed, bonded, and insured. Don't be left out in the cold or heat. Call Athens Refrigeration and HVAC at 256-871-1571. Alabama certification numbers 22183 and 53483. Athens Refrigeration and HVAC.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Applebee's Tailgate Talk wants to recognize our local athletes, and you can help. Go to tailgatetalk.net throughout the school year to vote for the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. The winner will receive a gift card from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and a t-shirt from Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Submit your own nominations for future polls, too. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Cast your vote today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Tailgate Talk.
Hi, this is former University of Alabama wide receiver Tim Boyd, and you are listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Applebee's in Athens, Alabama, and joining us live in studio, we have the James Clemens track and cross country coach, Drew Bell. Coach, how you doing?
Excellent.
Talk to me about some of the athletes you have joining you today.
Well, on the left, we got Dylan Dryer. He's going to be on the All-Star cross country team for the North team. It's the first time we've had anybody on the team. And along with him, we got him and Bothern is going to also be our first girl on the Alabama All-Star cross country team.
Awesome.
So, I mean, we're the only school that has 3 on there right now. Cole Robertson's out of town and all, but cross country is going really well. We're in the conversation. We got a great chance to make a move at that state title this coming year.
That's awesome. And when is the North-South All-Stars for
that's going to be in July.
July? I know that they try to do it all during that All-Star week, and I was just making sure it was at that same time.
Yeah, it is.
So it sounds like y'all are really trending the right direction right now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of trial and error, but, I mean, they've had faith and they believe, and we trust each other. We evaluate every day. We really don't do the same workouts from week to week at all. We're just always trying to modify and train, change.
Absolutely. So I have a few questions for your athletes if you just want to pass the mic around. I just want to talk to y'all about how you've seen the running program grow.
And this is Isaac Pollard.
Yeah.
He is a multi-event, which means he'll do the pentathlon and indoor.
That's really cool.
But an outdoor decathlon. But he can do, in indoor they do long jump, high jump, shot put, hurdles.
Okay.
And 1,000 meters. He's 7th in the country right now.
Okay. Yeah, if you just want to pass the mic along, whoever wants to go first. Yeah, so talk to me about what you really enjoy about what you do when you go out there and perform at these events. What do you maybe have a favorite?
I like how it's a challenge. I love challenges. My favorite event's probably the hurdles. It's a good combination between technique and speed.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like a very dynamic event. So it's a lot of fun.
Is that your best event, you would say? She's
maybe.
saying yeah. She's yeah. So it sounds like it.
So real quick, are there different heights in the hurdles?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. So what height do you run at, or do you run at different heights? As far as the
39 inches.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, wow.
I'd have to crawl under.
That's interesting. And so, a question for you. I'm just curious about how proud you are just to be representing JC at the North-South All-Star Games.
I think it's really cool because honestly, I didn't think I would ever come this far, and then to be the first girl at our school to do it is just a really cool opportunity.
That is really cool. And what year are you right now?
We're all juniors.
All
right
juniors.
now.
So you still got some potential to do it twice before you leave.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations. And I'm gonna tell all of y'all and tell Coach. Track and field is one of those sports. It's like wrestling. I mean, it takes so much self-discipline, right? I mean, you got Coach, and he's a wonderful man, and I know he, he makes y'all work.
Yes.
But there's so much work that y'all have to do individually at home and away from practice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do it, obviously y'all don't achieve what y'all are able to do. So, I mean, I commend all y'all because it's, like I said, it's one of those things that you have to have self-discipline. It's a team sport, I know, but it's so much individual in it. So anyway, that's great.
Who we have joining us right here?
I'll introduce him.
Hi.
This is Ben Thomason. He's number 3rd in the nation in the multi-events. He can go to any school, anywhere, and do his thing.
Go anywhere, yeah? So are there some schools you're looking at right now?
I don't have any school particular I'm looking at. I'm kind of looking into Alabama right now.
Okay, that's cool.
So
right now what you're saying is you're looking at what all the NILs got out there, right?
Yes. Yes.
There we go, buddy. That's important now. Before you didn't ask that, but now you have to ask that.
What are some of the events that you participate in?
Oh, I messed up. He is the state champion, and he was state runner-up. It's the only time any school's gone state champion and runner-up in the multi.
That is amazing. You just got an incredible group of people over here. Makes your job easy.
Wow, that is great, y'all. So, let me ask both y'all this real quick then. All right, so you got the winner, you got the runner-up. How much competitiveness is there between y'all in practices and stuff? Like, I'm going to get you back. Okay, that's what I figured, man. I mean, it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if one of y'all went to Bob Jones, say, your rival, but it's another thing to be on the same team.
That's the other school.
I'm going to get you. No, you're not. I'm going to maintain it. I'm going to retain it. So that's awesome. Good for y'all. Yeah, and that only makes everybody get better, right, Coach?
It is right.
Yeah, and so if you could pass the mic to him, I think it's his turn to get a couple questions. And so you'll be going to the North-South All-Star Games as well. Have you ever been there before, or is this your first time?
No, this is definitely my first time hearing about it also.
Yeah?
And I'm
wow.
happy to go, so.
I mean, it's going to be cool. It sounds like it's going to be a great opportunity for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get my name out there mainly, and I think this is one of the best opportunities for me to do that.
And you said you're a junior as well?
Yes, sir.
That's really cool. So, it sounds like you really have an opportunity this upcoming, you said it's June or July?
It's in July.
July. So it sounds like this upcoming July, you really have the opportunity to get your name out there, in front of the best of the best.
That's the goal, and I'm happy that I get to race these people because all of them, I know them mostly well, most of them all, and how hard they work and how much effort they put towards this. So I'm just glad I get to race them.
Now, what do you compete again in?
I compete in the 800, the 1600, and really any event from like the 400 up to the 3 mile.
That would be my question.
Because he's good at it, probably.
Well, obviously he's great at it, but I mean, what led you? Okay, Coach.
Here we go.
I got to give him his introduction. This is the Adidas national champion in the 800 indoor meet.
Nice, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah, so with all those events, I mainly focus on the 800 and the 1600.
Okay.
But sometimes I like to dabble by going up or down just to set a new PR and keep my PRs updated.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Coach just said that you were the indoor champion. Do you like running indoor versus outdoor? Because it's got to be totally different, right? The way the track feels and everything.
Most definitely. Indoor, the air in the indoor is really different, but the outdoor weather really varies. Right. I prefer the outdoor track since I think 2 laps compared to 4 just really changes how I mentally run the race. And I think that it's just more important to run, for me, just to run 2 laps so I can say, after this lap, I can just go all the way around the circle and I got to come down that home stretch all out, full out. And indoor, it's a little bit different, but I definitely prefer outdoor.
Okay. Well, because the indoor, every time I've watched it over the years, it almost looks like y'all are floating. Like there's a lot of give to the track. Is it, or is it harder than what it really looks like on TV?
Running around that bank does make it a little bit hard. It really depends.
Different feel, right?
It's definitely different feel. Indoor track is usually different from your average outdoor track. They keep it nice and clean in there, so it's usually not as compact.
You have to worry about little pea gravel and all that stuff getting up under your feet.
So it's very interesting to run in there. Also, it's a lot tighter, so it's harder to pass people, especially for me. Maybe not for 400 runners and stuff, but for me, it's harder to pass people, especially in the 800. those quick events and trying to pass people on curves, almost impossible sometimes. But, we make it through.
Yeah. So this is a question for all of y'all. Now, obviously, Bob Jones would be the biggest rival for y'all, but who are some teams that really give you a run for your money?
Go ahead and preface it with where you went to school.
I went to Bob Jones. Okay. They didn't need to know that. They didn't need to know that.
Well, yeah, they needed to know.
Yeah, I went to Bob Jones. Yeah, I'm a Bob Jones guy. But what I will say is, I'm just curious about who really y'all view as a really top competitor. When y'all go to these events, Hoover,
Vestavia, and Vestavia.
Yeah.
Huntsville, all those three. Those are some Birmingham schools. We're not really too worried about Madison, but
I hear you.
I think those Hoover, Vestavia, and Huntsville, those three, they really do a lot for us in terms of competitiveness and just going back and forth at track meets. I think that those three are definitely our biggest competitors.
Yeah, just like a friendly rivalry almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you. And so when y'all go to these events and compete, how many teams are generally at these events with you? Is it just for 7A? Is it?
I'd say about 100 teams.
What?
About 100 teams.
I didn't realize there was that many.
In indoor, yeah.
In indoor, especially, it depends on what meet you're going to, whether it's in the morning and the afternoon. But either way, it's still going to be a lot of teams, and they're all equally trying to win just as much as you are.
Yeah, so, I guess it really says a lot about y'all that y'all have been able to accomplish what you have, even with 100 teams at events and, y'all getting all-stars and state titles. I guess it really just says a lot about where JC's going for running.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm here with some fighters, so I know the challenges can get way competitive, especially between those two, Ben and Isaac. I see it all the time.
I hear you.
Warm-ups right next to each other, stride for stride.
And do y'all have any seniors on the team that have really y'all look up to and have really helped y'all along the way?
For me, I just look up to their personalities and just the way that they, lead, and as team leaders, and the way they call people out when they're doing something wrong. I think we have a team that likes to hold people accountable, and definitely
coach is happy with that.
Well, you got to have that. It comes a lot more coming from a teammate sometimes than it does coach.
Most definitely.
It really does, because that's your teammate. You don't want to let them down.
Coach is coaching the
you don't want to let coach down either. But
he's talking to 1,000 people a day at practice, and I think for us to have teammates that can hold us accountable, it's definitely easier on him and making his job easier every time that someone gets called out.
You bring up a good point, too, because for those that's never been to track meet, it's kind of like going to a gymnastics meet. There's so many things going on at once, and you want to watch it all, but you can't really just, you focus on this and you're missing that. Coach, how do you be everywhere? Because you can't be. So how are you managing shot put while the 800 is going on, while the 100 is right behind it, and while the long jump's happening? Or
I still to this day run around everywhere like a head cut off like a chicken.
Yeah. Well,
but we got a lot of good assistant coaches. We really do. I've got to handpick all my coaches. Nobody's ever been assigned to me.
That's great.
We're up to 9 now, and getting a lot of youth in there. A lot of 27 to 29-year-olds, a lot of new blood, as we call it. And
awesome.
It's really set up really good. Coach Mattingly does all the paperwork, all the eligibility, all the money. And,
that's nice. It's not having to fool that.
Coach Marianne, her specialty is driving the buses and making sure we have bus drivers. Everybody has their
role.
Yes,
absolutely.
And that's what makes it. That's what makes it happen.
That's awesome. And you're obviously a very good manager of those roles. You've been successful for a long time. How many years you been there now?
Well, I've been there since the door opened.
Really?
I was the third person hired there, and I'm the only head coach since day one that's still there.
Really?
Because you're under that, you're in that fishbowl, man.
Yeah. 2013, was that what it was? It was 2013.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
12 years. Before I forget, I want you to share your news that you told me off air coming in, because this is awesome, man.
Qualified for New York City Marathon. That's the third year in a row.
That's awesome.
Was today, and set the all-time course record over at the Carnival Frolic Half Marathon for 55 to 59.
So kids, y'all see, right? Coach is doing it, right? Y'all have no choice but to do it. That's phenomenal. It really is. Congratulations to you, man. That's just incredible. So that's awesome. Good for you, man.
When will that be? When will the marathon?
New York.
Yeah.
New York happens to be. Nothing's ever coincidental. There's no other way for me to say it. Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. It'll be November 5th on my birthday next year.
Wow. There you go. There you go. I'll have to remember your birthday. Wish you happy birthday.
I got 5 national championships in the next 5 months. I'll be at the United States Track and Field indoor track and field meet in 3 weeks. Then they fly me April 1st to Cherry Blossom 10-miler national championship. There'll be 80,000 runners in it. There's 3,500 in my age. I'm seated 4th right now. Great things are happening, but the only reason I'm doing this is to influence kids and influence people.
You are, yeah. And
that's all I want to do.
Say, it's not just kids; it's adults as well. I mean, absolutely.
Now, did somebody ask how many you've got on the team?
We're growing so crazy. I mean, day one at practice, we had 92, and I thought the floodgates are back open because since 2020, we went way down. The most we've ever had is 215 kids. But 2020 came, and we just had. It's been slow growth, but I think Coach Mattingly said we're up to 142 kids right now, and we'll keep growing until next Saturday's the first meet at James Clemens. After that, I won't take nobody.
Well, so how do y'all feel about it? I mean, it's obviously, I had no idea. I was thinking like 30.
I was thinking like 32.
There really is no behavioral issues. If you came to our practice, it'll blow you away. It's electrifying. We meet every day. We give out the assignments for every group. Each coach knows what they're doing. We get at, and as he said, the seniors, they're looking, man. And if you're not meeting that standard, they're jumping your tail.
That's awesome.
And if I have to call somebody that day, you can't let anybody take away and be a distraction or take away from what this team's trying to do.
That's right. That's
right. And I want to just kind of piggyback off that. Just talk to me a little bit about the culture that he's established at James Clemens and what the expectations are.
I think it's a really good culture because everybody has a good work ethic, and we really push each other to reach our goals and even go past them. And I would say that we have a lot of good leaders on the team to keep everybody going in the right direction, because we don't have nearly enough coaches to keep all 90 plus of us going there.
Yeah. So how many coaches are there?
We're 9, but there's not enough.
Yeah.
You could have 30 and there wouldn't be enough.
Right. Wow. So how do you, like you said, how do you manage that? Do you put a lot of that on your assistant coaches just to kind of, maybe break them off?
Well, we break up in groups, Coach Davis mainly will do the throwing, but Coach Oliver, he's new, but he'll either do sprints or distance running. I'll do distance running or any of the field events. Coach Johnson can float basically from everything. It depends on, what we got going on, but everybody knows their assignment. They know their assignment. I like workouts. Maybe we would have 6 200s or whatever it is. But here's what I say. The workout doesn't begin at the first one. Every kid, maybe it's the 4th one, when you feel pain and you feel tired and you feel beat up, that's when the workout begins.
Yeah.
And you do not quit the workout.
You got to go past
You have to finish the workout. The workout's done when you finish. And that's the culture we're trying to develop.
That's all.
Everybody's got a different level, but that's the mentality. As long as you're getting better every single day, we don't really talk about state champion. We don't talk about any of that.
Because all that's going to come. If you do what you're supposed to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
The reason I asked how many you had on the team, I was a high jumper back in high school.
Still holds the record, right? Yeah, I'm bragging for
but
you.
Anyway, I can remember, though, in some of those meets, some guys did more than one event. So they're running from this end of the stadium to they might be triple jumping down here, and then they have to go get their high jump in down here. And so I thought, well, maybe you don't have that problem, but I'm seeing nodding heads.
We do.
We try to structure things. Monday and Wednesday are running days. So it's distance runners hard on the track, intervals, sprinters doing different speed work and different percentages and whatever. Then that leaves Tuesday and Thursday totally when you're fresh to focus on your jumps and your throws. If you're a pure sprinter, then you'll do hurdle dynamic drills. You'll do relay handoffs for 20 minutes. You'll do block starts for 20 minutes. And everybody on Tuesday and Thursday hits the weight room.
I was just fixing to ask you, was there a weight room?
Yeah, 5 o'clock to 5:45.
Yeah. And I'm talking about during the meet itself, though. I mean, you may have that kind of running around too. So you get some running in that way too.
Yeah. We definitely still run all over the place because got to max out what we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, right. Because, as far as, I guess, the scheduling, whenever there's competition, they don't know how many different kids from different schools are competing in different things, so they just have to throw it out there and hope y'all can get there when you can. Right? Have y'all ever missed an opportunity to be able to compete because you were competing in another event?
Really?
Yeah. Y'all miss.
We were. Did we have the 400?
No, I think it
was the indoor meet.
It was the indoor meet.
Y'all missed the shot put.
So we were doing 4 events. We had the hurdles, high jump, long jump, and shot put. Wow. And we did high jump, long jump, and 400. Was it 400 or hurdles?
I think it was hurdles.
Hurdles. Yeah. Sorry, it was a while ago. But and then we missed the opportunity to go to shot put because they didn't announce it, first of all, and then second off, so we were busy doing that, and then we get over there to try to check in and ask what we were supposed to do for that. And then they were just like, "Oh, your flight passed 3 flights ago." So we were just like, "All right."
That was a blessing, though.
Yeah, it was a blessing because then we got to do the 4x4 relay.
Oh, there we go.
And y'all did well on that?
Yeah.
There you go. So it all worked out.
Yeah.
And, in your jumping events, I know it was as far as high jump goes, and I guess it's still this way. It comes up to the next time. You can pass, as the height goes up, so you don't have to jump at every.
Oh, okay.
At every height.
Interval. Okay.
Yeah. Of course,
you waited to the end just to break the record.
Well,
That's what you did.
Well, no, I jumped every time because I just thought that kept me loose and everything.
Yeah.
Some guys would pass, and then when they decide to jump, they couldn't even
get too high.
Yeah, it got too high. So, you do have that advantage if you're competing somewhere else. You can maybe send word, hey, he's passing or whatever. So, but the running events, you got to be on the line whenever it's time to go.
Yeah, Coach, I'm curious a little bit about your background with running. Like, where did you go to high school? Where did you go anywhere in college to do track and field or cross country?
I ran in Tennessee. I was at a school really inner city type school, and had to fight to get on the track team. But I got on the 4x800 as a freshman, and
nice.
we set state record. Then we moved to Mississippi, and I was the first white guy on the start with Mississippi's team in probably 10 years.
Really?
And won state in the half mile, and 2 mile, and had opportunities at 12 schools, the places to go. I chose Ole Miss because my sister went there.
Okay.
Nice. Went for little Joe Walker, who was Goodwill Games distance running coach, and
cool.
I sit after practice trying to learn how to coach and stuff, and got run over by a car that year.
Oh, no.
Spent a year and a half in the hospital and got released and went to NAIA school at University of West Florida. I was the first All-American there, first national champion there, first academic All-American
That's
there.
That's amazing you recovered. To be able to recover like that to be able to run.
Met my wife, so it was a blessing.
That was a blessing, yeah.
But,
God always works it out.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you really have a real background in it. And Coach, but we got to take a break. But before we leave, I just wanted you to go around and just announce all the athletes who are with you once again, and just say who you are and what you do for James Clemens.
All right. This is my 34th year or 11th year there, and indoor track, outdoor track, cross country. Isaac Pollard, multi-event, can do any event. Emma Bothern, all-star cross country and all-state cross country, and she can do anything she wants to do. I have high goals for her. And Ben Thomason, I think he can be one of the nation's best, if not the nation's best. And in multi-events, whoever gets him is going to be lucky. And Dylan Dryer, the complete package, 421 in the mile, 155 in the 800, 1549 in the 5K. So he has all the range, and whoever gets him, man, they can build a team around here.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you bringing everyone out today, and I really appreciate y'all taking the time.
Yeah. Proud of every one of y'all.
Congratulations,
for having us.
Hope y'all enjoyed the food.
Yes, definitely.
Well, we got to take a quick break here on Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We'll be right back.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
This is First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Mason Butler from Clemens High School, and I love First National Bank. They make it easy for me to balance school, work, and my social life. With convenient services like online banking, bill pay, and the mobile app, I can take care of my finances without having to worry. I can check my balance, transfer funds, and I was even able to apply for my checking account online. First National Bank, making communities great.
Located at 1880 Highway 72 East and 321 South Jefferson Street in Athens. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Addiction can have a crippling effect on everyone involved, leading to health problems and behavioral disorders. SOAR Addiction Recovery can help with their comprehensive and confidential treatment. SOAR understands the heartache and pain of addiction and can empower you to re-engage in a meaningful life. If you or someone you know needs help, don't wait. Call SOAR Addiction Recovery. That's SOAR at 374-3858. Located at 30521 Ardmore Avenue in Ardmore. It's time for you to soar. Call now, 374-3858. SOAR Addiction Recovery. Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net.
Hey, I'm Cody Gross. I'm the head football coach at Athens High School, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from Applebee's in Athens, Alabama. And live in studio, we have the Elkmont track coach, Matt Black, along with Alex Kuntz. Guys, how we doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
Great. Well, I really appreciate y'all joining. And so just talk to us a little bit what's going on in the world of Elkmont running.
Trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
Right. First year there. Got me in, trying to get my numbers up.
Okay.
How many do you have right now, Coach?
15.
You should have talked to Coach before he left. I think he said he had 142.
Right.
Well, that's what happens when that's what happens when you're there for 11 years.
Exactly. So it's a small beginning, but like the Bible says, don't despise the days of small beginnings. Right?
That's right.
So when I first got there, I applied for a grant from Dick's.
Okay.
Got approved. They filled the full $15,000.
Nice.
So I'm able to buy all new implements.
Nice.
Everything I need.
That's huge.
Right. So that's a big start there. Our big construction project we got going on right now is a I got a 10x10 slab put down, and we're going to have a shot and disc area.
Oh, sweet.
So we can get that going. Track's obviously an issue. Can't really do anything about that right now. But at least we can get the throws going.
Yeah.
Then that'd be a big thing.
So when y'all, just say for those that are practicing 100-yard day, you just do it on the football field. Where y'all running?
Well, and what I like to do is when especially early season, you've got a lot of new runners. We do a lot of aerobic-based running anyway, so they'd be like schoolyard runs, if you will. Yeah. So I'm saying, hey, we need to go out for 15 minutes. You need to hold a pace for 15 minutes right now. Just trying to build some aerobic base. And then for sprinters, a lot of that just on the football field would start out probably no more than 50, 60 yards. And we would work and
wide
build
open?
up. Yeah, we would work and build up from that.
Okay.
And then once we got into the hundreds, we would need to have it actually marked off somewhere, right?
But I'm sitting here thinking, I can't even think of a good flat, smooth area
it's
on
tough.
y'all's campus.
It's tough.
Let's do it.
It's tough. So I'm trying to work with other schools that's got a track that could possibly, maybe we could buddy up and just let us use some facilities and whatnot. So that's in the works, but as of right now, we're just doing all we can.
Coach, talk to me about the young man sitting next to you right here.
Yeah, this is Alex Kuntz here, and actually I'll let him do all the talking himself. He's a great young man, got a very solid work ethic, and he's driven, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad to inherit someone like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Alex.
And real quick, Alex, for you, I want you to go ahead and talk about your academics as well, because that's just as impressive as your athletics.
It is pretty impressive.
So,
well, on the academic side of things, right now I'm finishing out senior year. I have 3 AP classes at the moment in standard English, trying to hold my 4.1 GPA. I'm ranked 5th in my class.
4.1? You got to do better, something. Come on.
Yeah, just trying to hold out, man. Just trying to apply for all these scholarships and trying to figure out where I'm going and stuff like that. It's a real struggle. I really didn't even realize it. Like 5 minutes ago, I was a freshman.
Yeah. It goes by fast, and when you get my age, it goes by really fast. So enjoy it. Stay young.
Yeah. And it's just like ever since freshman year, like I remember, my first time making it to state, and it was just an awesome experience. And since that moment, I've really tried to put in the work. Trying to get a lot of the miles in, on my own. I would assume probably around 85% of my miles are all on my own. I run with people around, but really I just try to make everything specifically focused on what my needs are.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad you said that, because we were talking with James Clemens earlier, their track coach and team. Y'all saw them leaving, but I always admired people that do run track and field or participate in that sport. It's a lot like wrestling. You have to have so much self-discipline. Whereas, if you're playing baseball, football, basketball, whatever, it's more of the team deal, right? You know what I mean? Like everybody's doing this at the same time with each other. Whereas y'all got to get those miles, like you said, in on your own. And so I'm proud of you for doing it.
And
that's a great work ethic.
And I think what a lot of track and field cross-country athletes also don't take into account is, the recovery, making sure that you're getting the right amount of sleep and making sure that, your stress levels are, like you're having a happy life outside of just school running.
That's a great point.
Because, like just stress on your body, like just stress in your mind, like fatigues your body a lot more than people realize.
Since you bring that up, with you having all these AP classes and trying to maintain this 4.1, what does that do for your stress levels?
Yeah. It's a struggle, but I kind of use running as a way for me to be able to clear my mind, along with being able to go out there and compete, have a good time, and sometimes it's really hard, but just getting out there and just getting the miles in, having my AirPods and listening to music, or just listening to the tree swaying,
nothing like running outside with nature. It's nice.
And I have two questions, one for each of y'all. So Alex, talk to me about how you've worked with your coach and really make the transition for him easy, and really just like you said, y'all are kind of rebuilding right now, but y'all have 15 what sounds like really good guys and really good runners, really good track and field. Just talk to me a little bit about that.
So before he came in, a lot of my runs, I've kind of like created on my own, just because I've just had this routine since freshman year. And I think the communication between us is super good. He tells me, hey, I want you to hit these paces today on this workout. Let me know how it goes. You need to make sure that you're doing these dynamic stretches. You need to make sure that you're not going out too fast. You're not staying too slow. It's just the communication there, I think, is really important. And I think that we do a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, no doubt.
Indoor season, I think, was really awesome, especially us being able to go out to Louisville and race.
Yeah.
That was an experience that I've never gotten to experience before.
Okay.
So,
yeah, we made that happen. I guess it was last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Really?
He hit his 159 in the 8, which put him 7th in nationals.
Awesome.
And then,
well, congratulations.
That was a big thing there, breaking that 2-minute thing, because that's where he left off last year, right? At state and outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, you would want by the end of indoor your PRs to be met.
Right. Okay.
That's in a perfect world, right?
Yeah.
So if he was at 159 at the end of outdoor, we want to see him hit that by the end of indoor, and he's done that. So.
And I'll ask you the same I asked the others. Running indoor versus outdoor, obviously it's different, right? The feel of the track and everything else. Do you have a preference?
So, to me, I like outdoor track more. There's a little more. There's some disadvantages to it, just because you can't always predict the weather, stuff like that. There's a reason for both of them, I feel like.
Right.
Indoors, you can really get out there, you don't have that wind, stuff like that. But then again, you're having all the different turns. The surfaces of the track aren't the same. The Mondo surface is really tough on your body because of just how thin it is, but it's fast.
Do you feel like you have to pick up your feet higher when you're running on the indoor track? Because they do. They look almost like sticky.
So, and plus the track is banked too.
Right.
So with the track being banked as well, that's another thing that makes it faster. But then it doesn't make it fast. You know what I mean?
I see.
So, just for fast times, I prefer outdoors.
Okay.
But, when it's 20 degrees outside, I'd like to be inside.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, by and large, too, you're indoor, you're competing and you're prepping almost for outdoor. I don't want to say that it's just like practice for outdoor, but your best track.
But you're maintaining
your best track athletes are going to be competing in indoor, and then their times and distances and things will get that much better in the outdoor.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. That's awesome. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate y'all taking the time today to come in and just chat a little bit about track and field. I really wish y'all the best of luck. Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to you. Proud of you, man. Yeah, proud of you as well, man. I really appreciate you as well, Coach.
Yes, thank y'all.
And this is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. It was another great episode, another great edition of Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Unfortunately, we are done for the day, and we are out of here. Once again, this is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Hope you all have a good day.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings.
It's 2023, and it's the year of the gig. Gig Speed Internet has the power to change lives, starting right where you live. Slay your workouts this year. Stream your sets. Track your runs. Chart your gains. Call WKNT at 877-954-8748 to get your gig life started today. That's 877-954-8748.
When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. While others have come and gone, the Lion's Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lion's Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lion's Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill on Highway 72 East in Athens, just off I-65. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.